First up, the latest in the two-week standoff between Chinese and Indian soldiers in Ladakh. The situation has finally been brought under control, according to a spokesperson in China's Ministry of Defense. The standoff that had been going on for more than 2 weeks had raised question marks over the success of the recent talks held between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President. PLA Senior Colonel Geng Yangsheng, who is a spokesperson for the Ministry of Defense, told India today that the Chinese military and the Indian Army had made a timely exchange on their differences through the mechanisms that are in place to address the recent incidents. Meanwhile, India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, after meeting her Chinese counterpart, confirmed that India and China have resolved the standoff.
जब शी जिनपिंग वहां थे, उस समय जो घटना बॉर्डर पे घटी थी, उसकी कहीं ना कहीं छाया उस विजिट पर पड़ रही थी, जबकि वो विजिट अपने आप में बहुत हिस्टोरिकल थी। इतने अच्छे नतीजे उस विजिट के निकले थे, लेकिन मुझे खुशी है आपको बताते हुए कि दोनों देशों ने बैठ करके इस चीज का समाधान कर लिया है, टाइमलाइंस तय कर ली हैं। 26 तारीख से विड्रॉल शुरू होगा ट्रूप्स का और 30 तारीख तक सारी चीजें खत्म हो जाएंगी कि 1 सितंबर 2014 को जिस पोजीशन पर जिस देश की सेना थी वो वहां वापस चली जाएगी।
It's being seen as a big breakthrough in India-China ties, with External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj announcing the timeline of withdrawal of Chinese troops from the line of actual control in Ladakh. This after her meeting with the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Sources in the government say China is equally keen to deeply engage with India and not let the boundary dispute sour relations between the two Asian giants. With cameraman Alok Bhatnagar in New York, Gaurav Sawant for Headlines Today.
Let's get in a word from TV Today's Rahul Kanwal, who's in New York tracking developments. Rahul, Sushma Swaraj says that China's foreign minister has committed that troops from Chumar will be withdrawn by the 30th. Can we take that promise at face value?
So while on the one side we're still waiting for the Prime Minister to touch down in New York, Sushma Swaraj has been keeping a very busy itinerary. She's been meeting foreign ministers of various countries, and in the crucial meeting with the foreign minister of China, she was able to secure a troop withdrawal in the Chumar sector from the 26th of September onwards. That's from today onwards. We are told that the PLA forces will start moving back to their original positions, and if Sushma Swaraj is indeed able to deliver on that commitment that's been made to her by the Chinese foreign minister, that would be a big achievement. Mind you, people we've been speaking to in the Ministry of External Affairs who are working very closely with Sushma Swaraj are full of praise for the foreign minister, for the way in which she is functioning, for the fact that she's as assertive as she is, even when meeting leaders from the United States, Japan or China. They're saying she's not ceding ground, she's standing her ground and saying what she must, and that really is quite incredible given the fact that India hasn't seen a very strong foreign policy, at least in the last several years. This is a whiff of fresh air that Sushma Swaraj brings to the Foreign Office, which is also part of Modi's foreign policy, which we will see play out over the next 100-odd hours after the Prime Minister touches down here in New York.
All right, Headlines Today's Strategic Affairs editor is also in New York ahead of the Prime Minister's visit. Gaurav, the intrusion in Ladakh, the standoff really being sorted out between both the parties. But are there any steps being taken to ensure that incidents like Chumar and Despang are not repeated?
Now, India has told China that the positivity that had come into the relationship when Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Ahmedabad and interacted with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that mood was soured by incursions along the line of actual control. That should be avoided in future. Will it be avoided completely in the future? Well, sources say that because there is a perception difference in the line of actual control, incursions will happen on both sides. India will go up to its claim line, China will come up to its claim line. But it's the pitching of tents which is a major bone of contention, and both sides are now trying to arrive at a mechanism that neither side's pitch tents in what is perceived to be the other territory. They patrol till their claim line and they go back. But no pitching tents and no staying like in Depsang last year or Chumar this year. But that is just a thought on which both sides are working. There isn't a final resolution on the boundary dispute so far. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi said when he addressed that joint press conference with Chinese President Xi Jinping, it is hope that India and China will move forward and demarcate the line of actual control so that they can move forward on conflict resolution, on this dispute resolution.